Combustion.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Been running the game with my team making plays. Talking 80, my G's, wanting jewels in this place. Surrounded by dogs, keep the quarterback safe. I'm the one with the plans, they gon' do what I say. The game is not over, we don't celebrate. In the end zone, we don't got no time in the wait. Ain't tryna run down, we don't premeditate. We just go and get to it, we got them on skates. If the game go into overtime, kicking the overdrive, we gon' be first at the finish line. Play looking full, but I finish mine, can I get second? We gon' line up like it's dinner time. We put in work till we get us a ring. Super Bowl season, we running the scene. Ain't tryna home of the realest that breathe. Keep your face down when you talk to the king.
Yo, yo, yo. What up, y'all? This your boy AD with my co-hosts Clayton and Jules, and this is another episode of the H-Town Rundown. And we in the off season. We in the trenches of the off season right now. It's little to no information, and any little information is big information. And we here to talk about the foolishness of it all.
What's happening?
What's going on? How's everybody doing on this wonderful Sunday afternoon?
Doing well. We're doing well.
No complaints, man. No complaints.
Hope y'all went to church and had a good virtual, in-person. Hopefully you got some part of the Lord today on this good day.
Amen to that. We did.
So again, Houston Texans come in this week, going into week number 2 of OTAs. But they had a full week of OTAs, and I want to get y'all initial thoughts about the 3 OTA practices that the Houston Texans had this past week. And I'll start with Clayton.
Well, it's officially overreaction season. You see one little out route thrown by CJ to Dalton Schultz for a touchdown, and all of a sudden, oh, he's back, or Dalton was great. What I do like are the notes that I'm seeing from guys like Landry Locker, DJ Bieniemy, about how the offense, even in a small sample size, looks a lot better against the defense this time around. In little small sample sizes compared to last year, where the Texans, according to every report, was getting just dominated by the defense. So I think for me, because my bar is so low for the offense going into 2026, any positive that I hear about the gelling of this offense, I'm gonna take it and put it in the bank. So yeah, I'm just going from there. Oh, last nugget. I do like the fact that, we're seeing videos of both David Montgomery and Woody Marks getting passes. David Montgomery, I don't think he has a single receiving touchdown in his career. So I think just adding that element to his game and leaning more into that in this offense, if that's where the breadcrumbs are leading, again, I think, that's a win for this offense. So those are little tidbits I got right now after the first week OTAs.
Jules.
Well, for me is you like the reports. I think D'Amico Ryan said it best. It's 707s, OTAs. You really can't judge what the trenches do because nobody's in pads on. The O-line, the receivers have more advantages because they know what's going on. The safeties and corners are playing reaction, but they're not trying to do full presses. It's still hilarious to me that Will Anderson had to hit the showers one game, one practice because he kept messing up the whole offense, and he said, "I don't want to do it, but I understand why. I need them to calm down, but I want everybody to play the same way." So it's just hilarious about the situation. And CJ looked good in shorts and shirts. The offense looked decent. I like the little. I think they had one little scrape between the defensive ends and the O line. Overall, I like what I've seen. I like what I've heard because there's not a lot of things on them besides videos. And right now, I say there's 3 days of OTAs and new players, old players, players getting together. It's just trying to figure out. And what people have to remember most things is this is the time you trying things that you've been working off all season and see if they work. Sometimes some plays, some things you could try and doesn't work. You know it. You throw it a couple times, or you run a couple times, or you try a different move from defense end, and you see it gets blocked. You don't try it. So anybody that throws like negative shade, interceptions, or not, he's not no speed or anything like that. People just trying. These players are just trying things out to see if they work in a system to go forward. It's nothing real serious.
So I don't know what it is, but it seems like Texan fans have been acting like crackheads when it comes to this information. They've been itching, they've been scratching, they've been fiending for the Texans content, and any little thing they've been overreacting to. CJ threw a ball outside. It was a bad ball. Oh, it was a good ball. Oh, this, let's talk about CJ feet and why is he pitter patting his feet in on a practice throw to Dalton Schultz, or why is any little thing? Why is you don't see much of Nico Collins, or why we don't see Trent Brown or any of these guys? Where's the Neil Hunter? Um, all I mean, just straight foolishness, and then you got and Clayton, you talking about Landry Locker? No, thumbs
Dang,
down, double
dang.
thumbs
Why we
down. No,
making why we
um,
making enemies at 3:40 p.m. on a Sunday?
Hey,
look,
hey, 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 the next
Dang.
question. The whole thing about the pity pat the feed to Dalton Shorts. Did the pass get completed?
it got completed, but
Okay.
you had people comment about
Okay.
him, him pitty patting his feet in the pocket or simulating that, just saying he's regressing
Well,
or trying to use that as a regression tool or whatever. Like just unnecessary bull. Um,
well,
just
again, not to interrupt you, Eddie, I'm sorry, but again, the same thing as us saying this is officially overreaction season. This is also where everybody feels like they're a scout season. Everybody
Yeah,
wants to
yeah.
feel smart. Everybody wants to feel smart. Everybody wants to be an armchair coach.
I
And could
mean,
never do it.
yeah, I mean you said it right there. Landry Locker's prime example. Landry
Oh
Locker
my
got on this
goodness.
podcast
Oh my gosh.
and said, it's clear after 3 days of OTAs
Here we go.
that Jake Andrews is the clear starter at center for the Houston Texans in May.
Well,
I
look,
mean, the season starts in September,
the only
but
thing I'll contend is,
in May
yeah.
30th, May 31st,
Let him go, Clayton. Let him go.
Oh yeah,
May
you're right. You're right.
30th, May
You got
31st,
you got this.
Jake Andrews, unfortunately, has the clear advantage as starter at center. No shit, Sherlock.
Well,
Why
there is a
why wouldn't Jake Andrews be a clear? Why wouldn't he take the first snaps at center when Rutledge, who's projected to be the starting center, had a handful of snaps at center at Georgia Tech, still learning the position, and is a rookie?
Right.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Go ahead,
And
Clayton. Go ahead, Clayton. Go ahead.
Brandon, here go Brandon said it. Haven't you heard?
Jake
Jake
has two
Andrews has
legs.
2 legs now.
Problem so.
Like,
Problem so.
come on, guys. Jake Andrews is the most one of the most hated offensive linemen for the Houston Texans, especially with all the new pieces and new faces. Jake Andrews is the odd man out, and everybody wants everything that has to do with last year's line out the window, except for Ariante Ursery and
Right.
Ed Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
Jake Andrews has to go, and any semblance of getting Texan fans riled up, Landry Locker's gonna make sure he says it to get the clicks and debates. But again, it's common sense tells you it's 3 days of OTAs, shorts and shirts. Like Jules just said, no pads. Why in the hell are we even talking about Jake Andrews as a starter at center? I know that people are clamoring and looking and asking these questions, but those are, you know, I hate to say this, but y'all, there's some dumb stuff that y'all are saying and asking for. Is Keelan really starting at center right now? Oh, in May, not training camp, not late July, not August, not during preseason. Y'all asking in OT, the first day in OTAs. Literally, you had people asking the question: was Keelan Rutledge the starter at center in an OTA practice? So I need look, And he said, I thought Casario dropped 10 million on Tyler by this. No. At the end of the day, like we gotta be better as a fan base. We gotta be better as a fan base. You gotta have patience, and that's the crackheadness of it all. Fiending
The
for
crackhead.
the crackheadness of it all, fiending for Keelan Rutledge on the first day of OTAs to be your starting center. And if he's not the starting center the first 3 days of OTAs or in OTAs period, he's a bust of a pick. Why did Nick Casario making bad offensive line picks again? What are we doing? You know, it's just foolishness, and y'all need to figure it out.
Right. Go ahead, Clayton.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give
No,
it
I
real quick.
Dumb.
mean,
What that boy said? You just dumb. Just dumb. Go Clayton. Go ahead and try to defend Landry Locker.
well, I mean, look,
It's what you
my
about
my
to
thing.
do. You about to defend the crackheadness of it
Oh no,
all.
no, no.
I'm just here to song get
Oh
fine.
no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh no, all I was gonna say is this is why you probably need to log off X at this time, because that's where a lot of your worst takes are gonna end up at. It is right there amongst other places. But no, I mean, like you said, bro, the overreactionary nature of a lot of Texans fans right now, you can also say it's rooted in the fact that there's still such a bitter taste in our mouths over that 28-16 loss in New England, right? Like a lot of this stuff is just like the last time we saw this team, this group, they were licking their wounds because Drake May and the Patriots had beaten them on a snowy day in Foxborough. We're left with all these questions about the old line and CJ Stroud in the future and all this stuff. So they're not trying to excuse irrational behavior or expectations, but you're talking about a fan base that feels like they were one position away from their first Super Bowl trip ever. So I think that's a big catalyst for a lot of fans are just frothing at the mouth for any kind of update on this team. Again,
Yeah, I
not an
mean that's
excuse.
what crackheads do, froth at the mouth.
Oh my goodness.
Well, listen, man.
Listen, we're trying to be empathetic, so no,
No,
we
we're
should
not.
look.
I'm not for this, Clayton.
Hey,
I love you, Clayton. I really do. And as a brother in Christ, I love you too. But listen, the
hey,
Astros have had a bad season so far. The Rockets made the playoffs. You know what happened since New
well, the
England
Spurs in
beat
the
us.
finals.
Right, you know all the sports that's happened since the Texas lost to Patriots in January, and we still hypersensitive about OTAs and about starting centers who was drafted in the first round, and we're hypersensitive about something that does not matter in the grand scheme of things, and we're looking for clickbait by saying Jake Andrews, who was last year was a trade for a sixth round pick who got blown up almost every play all last year, and he was a point where he didn't have any competition last year, but we're gonna say he's the day one starter on 3 days OTAs. I understand Texas fans have as AD said, a crackhead about anything Texas related. I get it. 610 don't have no other conversation about anything else besides Texas. But as a fan base of Houston, there's so much going on that we can relax a little bit and just let the OTAs play themselves off. I don't care if um, the tight end makes 18 catches and he's 18 for 18 touchdown red zones. We seen what happened when rookies get blown, get hyped up in all OTAs. We saw it last year, and Higgins and Noel's gonna set the world on fire because in pads and I mean shorts and t-shirts, they was making wonderful catches. It's OTAs, people. It
Mm.
is OTAs.
I mean, CJ Stroud is gonna have another down year because he got picked off by Jalen Petrie in
Right.
7-on-7.
Oh, and Patriot and Stingley undercut one route that he misfired. Okay, I get it. I understand. I understand. It's just OTAs, people. There's nothing that you're going to, especially when it's an open media day, you're not going to see a lot of more productive routes or training or practices to give on the open market of media. Because clearly, if it's on Twitter, not only are you seeing it, but the Titans are seeing it, the Washington Commanders seeing it, Detroit Lions, the Cowboys send. So it's practice. It's like going to Little League practice. Who records Little League practice to get a leg up? Come on, guys. It's calm down. Just let OTAs play out. When training camp starts and preseason game starts, then y'all come talk about roster spots and tight ends going to fullbacks and this and that and who looks great. I just wait. I'm just
Oh
happy.
no, that's happening. Case Trouble going fullback. That's
You're
happening.
right. And it is what it is. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I'm not worrying about on ATAs. I don't care. I'm enjoying reading the clips and seeing the plays and watching my players on TV on Twitter, seeing the highlights of things here. That's all I care about. I'm just enjoying the footballness of the football. That's it.
I mean, again, like you said, there was a little tussle, and then you had people up here talking about, "Oh, I like the attitude. Oh my goodness, I love the attitude of this new offensive line." And the player getting in the fight was on the offensive line last year. New offensive line, okay. That's the mentality. The mentality. I mean, they were fighting in training camp last year,
Right.
and again, it's being reported. There's no video of it, so there's just being people being reported. It could have been just a little bit of jacking up and going back and forth, and them arguing in the face, and that's the scuffle.
Right. Only thing I have concern about, if I had to say concern about, is the Tank Dell and his situation. But it's not a big concern because we're gonna see where he going. Because a lot of people are not putting stock that Tank Dell is gonna be even playing day one. So if they keep taking their time and he's practicing by himself because he's not gonna have live contact yet, it is what it is. And nobody cares that Brevin Jordan is there for him. It doesn't matter. They're two different injuries, two different body types.
Yeah, Brevin Jordan's injury was not nowhere near as significant as Tank Dell's.
Correct.
Secondly, um, I want to transition into it. We didn't talk about it, but there was a move made cap wise for the Houston
Mm.
Texans with Nico Collins, who's in Clayton's picture right there, who got a raise. Um, he got was it $17 million
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 17 combined, fully guaranteed.
guaranteed, which lowered the cap to create. I think the Texans right now have $30 million in cap space right now.
Potentially.
Um, you know,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I say it again, Alfredo. Nobody has won the Super Bowl in OTAs. But again, could this be the Texans creating cap space to bring in another wide receiver because of Tank Dell? Or could they be bringing in cap space to bring in a Von Miller or bring in
Don't
a
start there.
Jadeveon Clowney?
There we go. That's Papa.
You
Don't
know,
you ain't got why Von Miller the first come out your mouth? Just because he's an Aggie. Just
Von
because he's
Miller,
an Aggie.
Von Miller, Super Bowl champion, former defensive player of the year. I would
10,
assume
15,
he
15
would
years ago.
he will be, and he's still effective. He was effective with the Commanders last year.
Yeah, he was.
So, and we talking about him as a backup rotation player.
Mm-hmm.
So again, could this be a sign of the wheels turning? Could we see Stephon Diggs come back to Houston? All of these things. So I mean, Tank Dell of it all, like I would be concerned about Tank Dell if you get in the training camp and Tank Dell is still not there.
Right.
I feel like that's the most likely thing. I've gone from being super optimistic to all of a sudden saying, you know what? Sorry. Yeah, I've gone from being super optimistic to there's a probably 60 to 75% chance Tank Dell does not play week one. Unfortunately, I think with that level of injury, we may not see Tank until maybe week 4, week 5. Heck, I dare even say post bye, like maybe the first game after the bye, week 8, week 9, something like that. I think that's the most realistic thing you can tell yourself as a Texans fan.
You
Sorry.
okay? You okay, brother?
Slow down, brother. Slow down, man.
I've been under the weather. No, because people got to remember, to go back to the Brevin Jordan point. Brevin Jordan, he had major injury, but that was like an ACL. Tank Dell, his leg, it literally was almost amputated on the field. Every single ligament that there was to have was snapped. ACL, LCL, a whole bunch of L's that I didn't even know existed, but just L's. And
MCL.
and the fact that he was MCL, thank you, and the fact that he's not even the biggest guy, he's slider frame. The fact that his leg was already damaged the season before, you're talking about. Then he got shot in the offseason. You're talking about a dude who just his body just betrayed him. Well, not really. A bunch
Nah,
of freak
I mean,
accidents.
yeah,
Freak accidents.
it all happens on a field of contact. A bullet's a bullet. The play against an end zone, that's collision. The blocking in the in the red zone, it's body entrainment. It's just football. It's just football activities and getting caught up in football
Well,
activities.
if I'm being honest, bro, there's no conspiracy here. I'm sorry. I still blame Bobby Slowick. I do. I'm sorry. Yes, freak accidents happen, but when you have Tank Dell blocking, on that play and he gets caught up in the trouble, I know it's normal football stuff, but come on. And then the Jared Wayne-ness in this situation. Like, I really tried not to, when his name comes up on the screen somewhere or he's talked about, I really tried not to hold it against him. But, like, you mean to tell me that we were a Bobby Slowick play call on the red zone and a Jared Wayne diving non-catch away from having Tank Dell, fully healthy. Those are just two things you cannot replicate or sim again, even if you try it. But we're here now. So I think the most realistic thing is he is healthy enough to participate on the sidelines. But realistically, as a Texans fan, check your expectations. At this point, trust D'Amico Ryans and Nick Caserio that when they give you word salad, like that's just what they're giving you. Like, if the Joe Mixon situation taught you anything, is that if they know something, they'd probably tell you. Like,
Right.
That's just straight up. If they knew something, they would tell you. Right now, that just is what it is. And matter of fact, with this Texans organization, which makes them so anti-Astros, they will give you that extra week or two, heck, even a month or two to get you healthy. They're not the kind of front office and organization that as soon as you're healthy, they're playing you. Like, no, you could be healthy and they'll still give you time. They'll still give you runway to more comfortably come back. So, as frustrating as that may be sometimes, that's what protects these guys long term. So just be ready. Tank Dell may not be back until post bye. So we'll just go there. That's not a report. That's me saying that.
Well, when the accident happened, when the hit happened, me and AD had this conversation back then, and I think I said it. I think AD agreed with me. We thought his career was over, and so far nothing has shown us since then that his career is not over. I know that they're gonna show clips and get everybody hype and this. It's a huge difference on practice and simulating thing and actually being game time ready. And I'll be shocked if he plays he might play it down, but are we getting the Tank Dell of old? Because if I'm getting the Tank Dell of old, he's just a player, and he ain't gonna last long on this roster. That's just
I'll
facts.
tell you this: he got one more major injury before his season really is over. Because no team is going, because this is a contract year too. Right, exactly. His career, because thank you for that. Oh no, because other teams see this too, and no one's going to pay a slider frame receiver who's been through that many major injuries. So he got one more before that. That's a wrap. And it will be, and if that did happen, that'll be one of the saddest stories I would say in Houston Texans history. Because man, like the man went to U of H. The whole story about come get me.
Wouldn't
right?
it be
Like,
on your what if list?
Yeah,
he would. He would definitely be. He wouldn't probably top 5, but like he would be on the top 10 list of what ifs. Because again, remember Tank Dell's rookie season, he was on a historic pace. Like I think he still owns the rookie touchdown record right now, unless I'm wrong. So he was on for the Texans, right? So he was on a historic pace. Like this man was balling out of control. And it just sucks that CJ Stroud, it seemed like when he lost Tank Dell, it's like all the bravado went with him for some reason. Like all that dogness left the receiving core. So if you lose a Tank Dell, I think that's one of the saddest stories. You can recover from it, because they basically built this team to where they can sustain losing Tank Dell. But as we've seen, Noel is not going to replace Tank Dell. Heck, Jaden Higgins, as proficient as he's been as a touchdown option, he's not replacing Tank. A lot of guys are replacing Tank. So again, you want to be very careful with Tank Dell given that circumstance and given those stakes. I'll tell you this: I'm much more confident that Tank Dell plays this season than Joe Mixon.
Mhm.
I mean, Joe Mixon may be done, so may Tank Dell be.
Yeah,
Like again, you have to put in the realm like you can't count on Tank Dell until you can count on Tank Dell.
correct.
Right.
So everybody's gonna be under speculation, asking what, when, where, why, what, how. Um, and you just gotta put that behind you and keep on moving. And Tank Dell will be there eventually. And again, if he doesn't play for half the year this year, then he's not gonna be a Texan.
Yeah.
His last game as a Texan was against the Kansas City Chiefs in that December game 2 years ago. That was would have been his last game as a Texan.
Mhm.
So you know, yeah, he has to be ready week one. And if he's not ready week one, then bye bye Tank Dell.
Right.
So it's no point in keeping him on the roster if other
And
than
that sucks too.
other than to spare CJ feelings.
Well, and then I'd also add, I'll throw this out there. Let's just say on the more optimistic side, Tank Dell balls out. Let's say he bounces back, gives you, let's say, anywhere 700 to 800 yards. Let's say 5 or more touchdowns, right? Something like that. That like, okay, cool. Then there's the topic of you having to pay him, right? Like, what are you willing to pay that? And AD, to your point about how much can you really count on Tank Dell, that would give me hesitation. Like as much as I'm in on Tank Dell, as much as he could be a different maker in this offense, just the ticking time clock on his body that we know exists now, you just don't know how much money that they're willing to invest in him. And then on top of that, you don't know how much money Tank Dell and his representation are going to want in the event of an effective comeback season. So it may end up out of your hands regardless. So you just hope that you can get the last little bit of juice out of Tank Dell that you can, unfortunately. And just kind of go from there. It sucks, man. It really does, because it seemed like all signs point towards Tank Dell's last season in Houston, like regardless of what happens.
We'll see. We will see. Jules, you got any final comments about Tank Dell?
Oh no, man! I'm going for the. I did see. I was talking about bodies and health and saying, but that from the pictures and from what the reporter said, a lot of Texans who did come back did look a little bigger, look slicker, look stronger, and the only thing I can take from that is these guys care, they're professionals. I understand they're professionals, but to shape your body to get your body ready for what you're looking for, it seems like these guys are understanding the position they're in early in the process, and it's great news to hear. Like CJ, his body type has gotten a little better. They said Jake Andrews, even though we ain't worried about Jake Andrews being a starter, he's gotten bigger. So you get the guys who were maybe were injured last year or who didn't know what they're gonna do, and they kind of comfortable come back. You can set, you can understand when you know the system. You know what you're walking into next year. The same system, the same bodies, everything else. You can focus on your body and your craft more than trying to learn a new system. So it's a good idea that some of these guys have come in bigger and stronger, hopefully a little faster on OTAs.
Yeah, shout out DJ Wall. He said if they willing to invest in Brevin Jordan, they'll do the same for Tank. Sure, I'm sure they will. I don't put it past the Texans to keep Tank around for CJ's sake. Um,
But to that point is Brevin Jordan ain't making no money.
yeah, so my thing is, I mean, right now Tank Devil ain't making no money either.
Yeah, so
So
that's
I
not a
mean, and I don't even want to talking about an extension, but if you
yes.
were to give Tank Dell another contract, it would have to be on a very low minimum type deal.
Right. So
Um,
at that point, it's irrelevant because the money you're making is just it's not earning a factor. So we ain't worried about it.
Speaking of Strauss' contract and Landry Locker, Clayton's boy, BFF, Clayton's BFF, Landry Locker.
Why?
Um,
Why? I said nothing. Why?
so, he asked CJ Stroud the question about his contract. And CJ responded, with the politically correct answer. I'm leaving that to my agent. Let them handle it. I'm just happy to be a Texan this year.
All right.
Whoa. Hold on. No. He said, I think I held up my end of that bargain.
Yeah.
Now that's where if he left, like if he just said everything else, I think all right, cool, right? Like he just left it up to the agent and the team. But he said, I think I did my job, and it's like that's where it's like, all right, CJ, don't let's not get carried away here, right? That you gave an overall strong response, right? Like a very much a like, hey, whatever happens, happens. And look, as a Christian, right? I look at that on a multitude of layers. Number one, he understands that hey, God is in control, God is sovereign, and if God wanted him out of Houston or something, let's say something like that, without getting too silly with the reasoning, then okay, right? He's speaking from that place. If he understands the business side of the NFL too, like pretty sure he has peers and others who have left teams for whatever reason, so he understands that as well. But he also, and see, this goes into my concern for CJ, which is the self-awareness at times of Stroud, right? In that sometimes I wonder in his mind what is his perception of the situation versus what the reality actually is. And it's one thing to be confident, but it's another thing to lack self-awareness. And when you say something like, I think I've held up my end of that bargain to get paid of that, in this conversation, it should give you pause because it's like, well, hold on. Like, what do you mean? Because if you want to try to take credit for the 3 playoff, trips and all that stuff, okay. But when I hear held up your end of the bargain, looking at the situation, well, you have a Super Bowl defense. You had enough pieces to make it farther than what you did. So in my mind,
his end of the bargain, at the end of the day, he is correct in his saying he held up his end of the bargain. His end of the bargain isn't a requirement. Like, again, quarterbacks have gotten paid year after year after year and haven't won a Super Bowl. Trevor Lawrence got paid, hasn't won a Super Bowl. Jared Goff got paid, hasn't won a Super Bowl. Daniel Jones hasn't done diddly squat. Hasn't even, I think he has one playoff appearance in his career and got paid. So to say he's held up his end of the bargain, he has, in the sense of a contract extension. Now, when it comes to money and all that, that's the agent part.
sure.
But to say that CJ Stroud hasn't deserved a contract extension with the Houston Texans is just false. He has. He has definitely earned a contract extension with the Houston Texans. The debate hasn't been, should the Texans give CJ Stroud a contract. I mean, you have his haters that say he shouldn't get a contract extension at all, that he shouldn't be on the team. And that's, just not logical. But as far as in you basing your argument in reality, CJ Stroud has done everything you will acquire a first round number 2 overall pick rookie to earn a contract extension.
Sure. And I like the distinction. Yeah, and I like the distinction that you gave, which is we're not talking about extension, we're talking about money. So in that aspect, I agree. And look, I'm about to say we know who his agent is too, David Milligetta. We've seen it up close and personal in our division, right? Jalen Ramsey, Deshaun Watson. We know how David Milligetta operates with his clients, right? He gets them paid, and he also gets them to teams that they want to be at if it came to it. So we knew those two things. If you're having the conversation about how much money, I mean, look, that's why I would contend against him getting a contract extension now, not because the Texans wouldn't do it, but because there's a chance David Milligetta on his side, they're going to push for more money, and which would take them out of the price range that the Texans may want to offer him right now. But I'm also confident that if he comes back and has a strong enough season, I'm pretty sure the Texans and Nick Caserio would be more than happy to give him the $60+ million that he possibly is going to want. So it depends on him.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like I said, people taking these words and they using them because they're trying to, the same argument you made about it and painting that picture is what most Texan fans that hate CJ Stroud or feel disappointed by CJ Stroud are using against him and saying that he doesn't deserve it or he doesn't, he shouldn't be required or shouldn't even be thought of getting an extension. And shout out to Adam Schefter, who went on Pat McAfee's show and said that yeah, CJ Stroud is getting a contract extension this offseason, or foresees it, and then goes to talk about CJ's haircut as if CJ Stroud hadn't got his haircut since what 4 months ago
Yeah.
when
Oh
he got
yeah,
his
no, he
haircut.
said he just got a
And
haircut too. Yeah,
he just got a haircut like he just got it yesterday. So shout out to Adam Schefter not knowing anything about the Houston Texans and just doing what he can to get a paycheck.
All right.
So again, like I said, the CJ Stroud of it all is always going to be a constant. Um, what they call it, polarizing topic and conversation because he is the quarterback of the Houston Texans. He's the quarterback of the team, so that we all love and care for. Some would say we're swarming and willing to die for the Texans, but that's neither here nor there. But
Right.
there is one topic I want to touch before we head out. And that's the Kalen Bullock of it all.
Oh God.
Um, Kalen Bullock has been getting a lot of hate this offseason. And I'll paint a picture. You started this offseason with people debating on podcasts, debating on the radio, debating, I mean, we've even had a conversation about who do you pay or which one gets paid as far as the Kalen Bullock and Kamari Lasser. Um, and I've always been a proponent of they both gonna get paid.
Yes, you have.
And but people have chosen a side in the Kalen Bullock side of it and saying, well, Kalen Bullock is easily replaced. Let's keep Kamari Lassiter because he is a quote unquote better player than Kalen Bullock, right? And it's been a lot of, I would say 65, 35, 70, 30 of people siding against Kalen Bullock. So let's start this offseason talk with that. We start there. And then most recently, shout out to the group chat. There was a conversation about Kalen Bullock, and there was shout out Chevy that brought up the saying that he felt like Kalen Bullock was the 11th best starter on this historic Houston Texans defense. So I
that's
want
crazy.
to I want to get your thoughts, Clayton, and your thoughts, Jules, on the hate that Kalen Bullock has been getting this offseason. Because I'll add on to this before y'all give y'all thoughts. People were debating, and people were actually propping up Henry Toa to crap on Kalen Bullock. And I just couldn't believe my eyes because in April, a month ago, people were begging the Texans to draft Anthony Hill and other linebackers so that they couldn't have, so that Toa wouldn't be on the roster. And if you
Right.
don't want Toa on the roster and you feel like Toa is a better player than Kalen Bullock, how bad is Kalen Bullock in the eyes of most Texan fans? But I want to hear y'all thoughts and why the hate for Kalen Bullock is so loud. It's starting to get loud. You know how you had the remote and you hitting that volume. It started out at like 8, and it's
Mhm.
getting up to about 25 or 30 now. Especially if you got that soundboard, that's a little loud.
Well, it's the money situation. It's understanding that you can't pay everybody,
You
and
can, you
but
can
hold on,
pay.
but hold on, and that's what the fear is, that you can't pay everybody, and if someone has to go, and it's up to 3 or 4 players on our defense that you feel have to go, the one that you willing to let go is Kevin Bullock, but it's immature to put somebody down because you want somebody else to start. You want somebody to keep. So the conference going to be right now is Bullock versus Lockdown. Everybody want to keep Lockdown. I understand it. It is what it is. So they're willing to talk trash about this man or not. I don't know if it's trash. I think it's just conversation. So you wouldn't have put this man down because you want to keep one player above him because you like him more or you think he's a better player at his position and all that. And it's immature. Whether who stay, who don't go, whether they can and cannot, you don't have to put your players down to prop your one. And y'all know my feelings about Jalen Petrie, and the rest of it. If you think that Bullock is the 11th best player on defense, that's like having an all-star team and saying, "Oh, he's the 11th best player on the all-star team." It don't make no sense. It's irrelevant conversation. But if I have to say and twist my arm, I'll say he's the eighth or seventh best player on the roster.
Mm. What up, Frank?
Uh,
Look, I'm gonna ask this question after Clayton gives his thoughts. But I got a question on it because since we want to rank them, we can rank them. But
yeah,
go
we
ahead,
can.
Clay.
But so yeah, it's just you don't want to lose, and the whole fear is losing Kamari. Let's just go. That's this whole thing's about losing Kamari. If you think that you have to, you'll lose Bullock to keep him. You're gonna say whatever you can say about that man, about the player, because you want to keep Kamari, and that's the whole conversation. And understanding if and I know what you're gonna say, you can keep both of them. But if you can't, you know who's the more expensive player going to be. It's going to be Kamari.
Yeah, I mean it's just position wise though.
That's just position wise. So it's if you're looking at dollars and cents, you're looking for the situation, and that's why you blame it. That's why you crapping on Bullock. It'll be cheaper to re-sign Bullock than it's Kamari to sign Kamara. That's all I gotta say. Go ahead, Clayton.
Sure. I'm still at a loss for why this is even a conversation, honestly.
Right. It shouldn't be.
I'm
It
I'm
shouldn't be.
really I'm sorry for the pause. I'm just trying to figure out of everything that we could be discussing, out of everything that the Texans need to focus on, we're talking about the best defense of probably the last 5 to 10 years in the NFL. A secondary that was no worse than top 6 in the NFL and top 2 in a lot of categories. A safety in Caleb Bullock, who you could have made the argument that he could have made a Pro Bowl in his rookie year,
Correct.
Given his amount of interceptions, right? And the biggest knock at the time of Caleb was just his situational awareness, right? Like not always being a gambler and just being smarter about, just secure the tackle, secure the ball, stuff like that. Really nitpicking though. A guy who made strides, a guy who ran back a pick 6 in the playoff game, like out of everything that there is to discuss as a Houston Texans fan, we are nitpicking over Caleb Bullock, and not just nitpicking, but from what y'all are saying, casting him out like he's a bum, like he's being carried by this defense. Like that for me is, I'm trying to understand where this thought process even comes from. But again, ahead of the whole ranking thing we're about to do, I guess. You first of all, you can't give me right now 15 better safeties in the NFL than than Caleb Bullock. So that's first thing. Second thing, again, like if we're talking money, sure, he's more replaceable in that you can find safeties who just, because your defensive line is so prolific and your linebackers are so elite, you can play it. You can play it a little bit cheaper on the safety end.
Whoa.
Oh, he
No,
about to
no. We ain't about to let that slide, Clayton. Clayton, I love you, good brother. You said elite and linebacker?
Well,
Listen.
When I say that, I say it very loosely. I mean, like the D line is elite, linebackers at least are proficient and competent.
There we go.
They're competent enough. They're competent enough to not just blow it, right? They're not gonna by their play leave the safety to be the on an island all the time to make that final tackle. That's kind of what I meant.
I'm excelling now. I'm good.
Yeah. So anyway, but with that being said, bro, look, that's one of those, like you joking about the Landry Locker takes. That's my Landry Locker in that, bro. What we talking about? Like what we doing here? Like, let's just keep it factual, right? They want to pay him. It just be how much and can they afford to.
Right. It's like them arguing about OTAs and what color socks they got on today, because
it don't make sense though. Like, really, my last point of it is, AD, you kind of said it. Like, we have to be better as a fan base. Like, why can't we just have nice things when we have them?
Right.
Like, it's like this toy that we have is serving us so well, and it's like as soon as we can't, this ain't good enough. It's crappy. It's this. I just don't understand.
This is giving me Toy Story vibes, huh?
Yeah,
bro. It's just like, what are we doing?
All right.
So, and I really wish I had the Joe Clark clip, voice clip clipped up so I can play it. But you smoke crack, don't you, boy? This is what I need right now. You smoke crack, don't you, boy?
It's killing your brain cells, son. It's killing your brain cells. It's so many Joe Clark. You gotta be careful which one you want.
So, they talked about it. And so I'm gonna go ahead and let's rank it.
We'll do one to 11 top. Let's do one first. Let's do
Yeah, we
one
already know
first.
who one is. We already know who
Yeah,
one is.
yeah. One that got told him go to hit the showers. We can't do shit with you on the field. Go get the showers.
So let's go. We're gonna rank the 11 starters on the Texas defense, and we're gonna go from one. Do we even have to say who's number one?
Nah,
Oh, you don't have. I mean,
just say his number.
yeah,
Just say his number.
51, man.
Yeah, it's
51 and
51.
1.
yeah, Terminator. We know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And number 2, who y'all got?
I still
Ooh,
got Stingley.
you got Sting.
I got Stingley.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd put Daniil at number 2.
Nah, I got Sting at number 2, bro. That's
I got
all
Sting
pro.
at 2. All right.
Yeah.
All pro. It's all pro.
Yeah.
It's all pro. Number 3.
I go Hunter.
So we swap places then. I got Sting at 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Hunter at 3. Number 4.
The other corner.
Yeah.
Kamara.
That's basically a defensive end playing cornerback. So yeah.
I'm gonna shock y'all, and I'm gonna say
Aziz.
Aziz.
I was about to say Aziz.
He's my 5th one, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so you got Aziz at 5. Who you got at 5, Clay?
Same Aziz.
yeah.
Okay, and then I'll go Kamari at 5.
Okay, so we have 6.
We at 6. So let's say Jalen Petrie. Petrie got to be 6, right?
Ooh,
No,
yeah.
Blankenship for me.
Blankenship.
Blankenship.
Ooh.
Why? Super Bowl champion, been in big games, know how to play position. He's gonna elevate the situation. He's a better player.
Give me Petrie at 6, bro. I hear all that. Give me Petrie at 6.
Yeah, I got Petrie. You got Blankenship. Tell me you got Petrie at 7, Jules.
I got Bullock at 7.
No, my goodness. No.
Oh man.
Well, hold on. You got Bullock over Petrie?
Yeah, 10 days on Sunday.
Hold
That's
on.
right.
You got Reed and Bullock over Petrie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh dang.
Oh man. Yeah, I will say because I got Petrie at 6, and I'll say Kalen at 7, and then I will go Reed at 8.
So are we rating just on this defense, not the overall player?
Mm-hmm.
Overall player or just a player on this defense? Because if y'all talking about play on this defense, I understand why y'all put Jalen Petrie ahead in what is. But we talking about all around talent and skill set. There's no way y'all put Jalen Petrie higher than some of these guys. There's no way.
Mm-hmm. And look, Petrie as a player on this team, as a football player or whatever, Petrie is top 7 for sure. Look, and I mean, one said the Petrie
Right,
down
he really is.
Ooh, the
Really,
best
yes.
nickelback.
No worse than top 3.
Ooh, the best nickelback. There's no nickelbacks in the Hall of Fame. Ooh, nickelback. Let's go. The band sucked too. Let's go. We on 8, right?
Yeah, we on 8. Who you got 8?
Ooh, this is where we at now. 8. So it's 11 people, 3 player left. I can't say Toa. That damn sure can't say Toa. I can't put him over the rookie McDonald. I would love to, but I can't do that. Sheldon Rankham's a little older, so for argument's sake, I'll finally put Petrie there.
You gonna put Petrie at 8?
Right. If I had a better linebacker, he'll be 9.
What? What?
I'll reckon him as
People say I hate. Petrie.
I'm ranking him based on his overall skill set, not just what he means to
I
Texas.
feel like
And that's what
I'm learning so much right now.
Texans fans fail to realize. They're saying what he means to the Texans organization and who they like him, but his skill set is not very strong.
Look, let's go 9. Where y'all
That's
at
crazy.
9?
That's crazy.
I'll put Sheldon Rankins.
Okay.
Shelvin at 9.
Okay. Go ahead, Clayton.
Well, hold on. I got a review because y'all started talking. I kind of lost my last couple. So I just slop. Look, I know 1 is Will, 2 is Daniil, 3 is Sting. What we say? 4 was Kamari, 5 was Aziz,
Nope.
6 was Petrie. I'm on my list. 6 was Petrie.
No. I'm answering the text message. No, I'm not. That's my feel about somebody who
Okay.
lost a position every year since he was drafted.
All right. 6 is Petrie. 7 on my list was I think this is where I got lost. 7 on my list. I will give you Blankenship at 7. Then 8 would be Bullock, only because Blankenship is more experienced, and I think he has that level of IQ that Bullock should learn from. But I'm not gonna separate them by that much. Like, so Blankenship at 7, Bullock at 8. Now we're back up to 9. 9 for me. Ooh.
You had Bullock at 8?
Well, yeah, only because of IQ and situational awareness. Like that's why. I would have had him at 7 over Reed, but again, I'm giving Reed the fact that he's a smart safety, more experienced. Like he can teach Bullock a lot about the position, because Bullock is the better overall playmaker to me. That's what would carry him to 7 for me. It's just that, okay, we've seen Bullock try to play make when he should just be, a safe cover option in the secondary. So that's where I feel like Reed has a leg up right now. But again, give Kayla another season, and that flip flops easily. So that's why. Yeah, so Reed is 7, Bullock at 8. 9 for me. Oh my goodness. Honestly, based off of, and y'all probably not gonna like this one, based off of how they use him, I'm gonna go Toa at 9 because I know that Toa is, a D'Amico guy. Otherwise, he would not be on the team right now. I feel like they like a lot of what he brings. His main issue is the missed tackle in the biggest moments, but he has a high motor, high character guy, high, intensity guy. So
that's like Jalen Petrie to me.
Nah, no, sir. But
did he not miss Baker on a blitz that was for him?
to Petrie.
Both of them. They both of them.
Possibly.
Okay, then.
That ain't Petrie's first job to.
I just saying Petrie and Toa sound like the same player.
But I would say Petrie has made more. Well, actually, I can't argue that much. What I will say is Petrie to me is the better sure thing in those same situations. I get it, and I'll agree that in a lot of ways they do mirror each other. Like they both have been burnt toast in coverage numerous times. And I can't acknowledge the fact that Petrie has been taken off of cover duties and brought down to star/nickel for a litany of reasons. But still, though, the fact that he's been able to kind of find his place in that, short to intermediate area and has gotten paid very handsomely for his services, I just think he's a better option than Henry To'oTo'o.
Okay, so
I just think that's where I'm at. So
the guy you can't trust past 15 yards, got it.
Well, I just think he's a more versatile option based
Henry,
on.
Look, Henry's at 9.
He's at 9. That's my. He's at 9.
Henry's at 9, and I would say 10 and 11 is the 2 D tackles.
Right.
Yeah.
It just all depends, and rankings at 10, or do we go McDonald?
You gotta go Rankins.
You go McDonald over ranking, or do you if McDonald is who we think he could be, does he jump any one of those in the top 9?
Oh,
I think he jumps To'oTo'o.
I think he jumps a lot of players if he does what he's supposed to do.
In this defense, I believe he can jump into top 8. Like if he's anything like he's supposed to be in first season.
Yeah.
just because of his position that he plays. Like that's my thing. Like
and
the
and
position that
impact.
he plays negates him from being top 5, unless he's like Aaron Donald.
There we go.
Hey, so I don't know how to say it, but Shree, how many linebackers are you trusting past 15 yards?
A bunch of them. Fred Warner. There's a bunch of them.
You just said the best linebacker in the NFL, and you said a bunch of them, and you gonna name the best
I just
one.
named one.
You
Okay,
just named the best one. Of course,
wanna
the
go
best
there?
one in the league gonna
You
be able to do it.
you know how I feel about Petrie. Let's do this. Y'all know I don't like Petrie. I
Well, I
don't.
just learned that. I didn't know.
Because this is a situation that me and Eddie talk about all the time. This player.
Did we lose
Hello.
you? There we go. This player.
No.
He said this player.
This player has been. They were trying to replace this player almost every year since he's been here. They have brought in more safeties and more corners and more nickelbacks all the time because he can't.
What
He
other
can't be
nickelbacks
touched.
have they brought in?
They drafted one last year. Morris Bryant was here last year. Let's not get these niggas back there what they've been doing.
You
And
said
they Jimmy
Miles
Ward,
Bryant
Bullock,
and
C.J. Gardner.
Jimmy Ward. They had Jimmy Ward play the opposite safety,
They brought in safety, and he has to
but
find.
he's
You
not a
have to
safety.
hold on. This is my point. I'm gonna go with another. You have to find a position he was good for because he's not a natural fit anywhere. Let's be honest. You're taking a linebacker off the situation because you're trying to find a position for him. If you take him off this team, he doesn't. He's not a guaranteed starter anywhere else. He's Isaiah.
No, that's not true.
He's
That's
You
Isaiah
not
said he's
true.
Simmons.
not. You said he's not a
That's
guaranteed
not
Jabbar
starter
true,
Peppers.
Jules.
anywhere.
That's not true.
He's Jabbar Peppers. He's Isaiah Simmons.
Jabir,
He's a Knicks player,
and guess what? They started at other places,
and they've been gone within half season gone.
but Petrie has been here for 5 years now.
And that's why Texas fans love him because he's been here and he's from Stafford, Texas. Let's not give his old.
Well, Petrie did
The
have a
internet,
pretty good.
Elon internet is saying,
Let's not give him too much hype because of who he is and where he grew up and the fan base love because he tackled. His job, mostly of gun being what he was, is playing the cover position and he can't cover.
Well,
he can tackle his ass off, and that's fine. But he's limited in everything else.
I was gonna say, coming out of Baylor, I mean, what he is now is a kind of more reflective than maybe what he was at Baylor, what he was at Baylor.
And that's why we said he was improperly drafted here to play safety, and that wasn't his forte. They thought he could make me safety, and he couldn't do it.
But so the thing about it is that if we go back to pre-draft, when we talked about it, pre-draft before he was drafted, when you draft for Jalen Petrie, like he's playing exactly where and how he played at Baylor.
Correct.
And guess what? At Baylor, he was all Big 12, Big 12 player of the year, best defensive player in the Big 12. As a nickel star,
there you go.
Whatever you want to call it. And the NFL has transitioned to feature a nickelback position. Now you got nickelbacks in Pro Bowls. They have that position specifically in the Pro Bowl now. You can make it as a Pro Bowler as a nickelback.
That's fine.
So you saying that they made a position for him? The NFL has made a position for him. The NFL has put an emphasis, and this has been created around the league, that teams would love to have a Jalen Petrie.
Yeah,
I know the Cowboys would.
Who can play coverage a little better too?
Oh, the Cowboys would love Petrie. I know the Buccaneers. Yeah. I know a bunch of teams would love to have
20 teams that would love to have Petrie. The Colts would love to have Petrie.
They would love to have Petrie in the middle. Like Jalen Petrie,
Titans, the whole AFC South would love to have Petrie right now.
In the middle of what? In the secondary?
Or this is talking about? As a nickelback, what he's playing
as a linebacker, nickelback, right? Not a true nickelback, as a linebacker nickelback, right?
Jalen Petrie as a nickelback is one
He's
of
a
the best
linebacker
nickelback.
nickelback.
He's one of the best nickelbacks in the league.
I mean, okay, let's do this then. Chips on the table. It's not just at his position. Jalen Petrie is one of the best pure football players in the short to intermediate in the NFL. Like there aren't that many in the NFL in the short to intermediate
I
where
love how
Jalen
y'all.
Petrie.
I love how y'all throwing these flowers out there like this is really y'all making a way to justify him being a good player. The short intermediate, that's his forte. Okay,
Well, then, but bro, you gotta think about it too. That's the luxury of the defense that you have. Of course, if you had a different kind of defensive setup,
correct.
Jalen Petrie either is redundant or you don't have space for that kind of player. Because again, let's be real. Yeah, let's be real. Well, look at the trajectory in his rookie season. That was his, I think, his highest amount of interceptions playing pure safety. Right, like he got like what 5, something like that. So we've seen him. They try to put him out there. Year 2, not so hot. Like he basically got benched in a sense because he was getting burnt. It wasn't that great. So eventually they had to kind of move him in and say, all right, if you can't play pure safety, let's try to find something for you, which you can concede that. But the fact that he was versatile enough to still be effective or arguably more impactful than he ever has been being moved out of that position, that doesn't make him like less of a player necessarily. It simply means in today's NFL, he's not the best pure safety. But at what he does, he's one of the 5 best, heck, 3 best in the entire NFL. And you'd rather have a Jalen Petrie than not have Jalen Petrie, regardless of what your job description is. He's one of the best pure mid skip. He's one of the best pure just football players in the NFL.
He's great at it. He's great. Gotcha. I love that.
What you ask him to do?
Great. He's a great player. He's an iconic player. Got it.
No.
At the end of the day,
he's a niche player. He's a very niche player that works here.
He's a niche player. He's a joker. He's a player that
don't have. And Jules, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
But the Joker get you a book in spades.
The Texans are a better team with Jalen Petrie on the field than they are without him. The defense is better.
Debatable.
Oh,
debatable.
All right, we ain't getting nowhere.
No, yeah, because everybody keeps saying this Super Bowl defense, like it's been this for 3 years, and it hasn't been 3 years. It's been the Super Bowl defense for 1 year, so it's relevant. Y'all want to say
it's been a top 10 defense for all 3 years.
Yeah, but he hasn't been a top 10 player for 3 years either.
One of them years he was hurt.
Okay, so they were still good, right?
No, that was the year that they was the least effective.
Okay.
Which was what, 23?
That's cool.
Yeah, that was 23.
That's cool. Y'all got it.
And then last year he got hurt towards the end of the season, and you saw the drop off of the defense when he got hurt. And the defense last year, I'm talking 2020, what is it? 24, 25 season. That defense was on pace to be as elite as this last year's defense was before Jalen Petrie got hurt.
Okay.
And then once he got hurt, it took a precipitous drop.
Okay.
And you can attribute some of that or most of that to Jalen Petrie not being on the field, along with other safety and not having a safety, but Kalen Bullock on the field.
Correct. Because I forget that year they went through safety players, right? They couldn't they safety players were going left and right,
like toilet paper.
Right. So you can't just say it was Jalen Petrie when their secondary was notorious. We had Miles Bryant starting games. Let's not go there. We had guys.
And Miles Bryant was giving up touchdowns.
And you had number 11 out there. You had
Miles Bryant was spreading them cheeks.
Right. You had Traymon, but you trusted him more than you trusted Petrie in the secondary.
No, you didn't.
Yes, you couldn't put Petrie in the secondary. You cannot put Petrie in the secondary. We already seen that before. No, we can move on because y'all, AD, you know how I feel about Petrie. I don't know why you want to go.
I'm confused, but we right here on the H-Town Rundown on YouTube, right here on Twitter as well. So go ahead and catch the lives here.
Stafford, Texas, Baylor, Big 12, Houstonian.
Man,
that's the reason why people love him so much.
Look, I could see if we was talking about Vince Young.
He the same thing, the same thing.
No.
People
just
love
like you and Anthony Hill. You was up there, y'all people up there clapping cheeks for Anthony Hill.
No, hold on, brother. Hold on.
And all that stuff like that.
No. Once he wasn't drafted, Has Anthony Hill come out of my mouth on this podcast?
I ain't
It
talking
has
about
not.
you specifically. I said
What?
people.
No, that's what you trying to say.
I said people. You
Nah,
talking
Pop,
about the people?
don't try it.
You
Don't
talking
try
about
it. You tried it.
no. You talking about the people that sat up here and was saying they love Petrie because he from Stafford and this and that.
That's
It's
facts.
only one person that that is from Stafford
There's more than
that
one. There's more than one that
that
Taylor he's sleeping on.
campaigns for
He's wrong.
doggone and it's in his name that campaigns for Jalen
Nah,
Petrie on a regular basis.
he ain't the only
He's
one
the
that claims that
champion. He's
either.
the king champion of the
Doesn't
Jalen.
make just because he King Shaq, I mean he ain't the only one. There's a lot of folks that love him because he's known.
Man, that's the swans of it all.
I'm
That's
just
the
telling
swans
you. You
of it.
know it's true. Just because that one person campaign
Brandon,
don't
people
mean
name me.
he ain't got an army behind him. They say the same thing.
So again, we ranking them. We got 1 through 11. You know, Jules, you send me yours. Clayton, you send me yours, and I'll post them on the Twitter page. So y'all be on the lookout for the top. You know who the H-Town Rundown views as the top 11 players on the Texan defense.
On a
But I
historical defense
historical defense.
that
But I go
we
back to my original point about Kalen Bullock because we went on the Jalen Petrie tangent. But I go back to my original point of Kalen Bullock is that you have some people that view Kalen Bullock as the 11th best player on this defense. And again, like you said, it's a historic defense. Not saying he's a bad player, but along with saying he is the 11th best player, they're saying I'd rather pay Kamari and let Kalen walk.
I'll pay Toto
And
and let him off.
and saying Kalen is replaceable. And you're getting a lot of that conversation, and that's why I'm like, this has been starting since beginning of the offseason when it came down Kalen or Kamari, Kamari, and then you having all these conversations about it. I just feel like Kalen shouldn't be in those conversations at all. I feel like Kalen is a good enough player that he shouldn't be in a or conversation. There shouldn't be a or conversation with Kalen Bullock. It's Kamari Lassiter and Kalen Bullock, not Kamari Lassiter or Kalen Bullock. YouTube page is at the H-Town Rundown. Mike Patton. You can go and I'll put it in the chat. Give me 1 second, and you can go ahead and you must be watching on somebody else's page, but I'll put it here, and you can catch it on everybody's page. So make sure you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. And follow the H-Town Rundown, man. For definite. So I'll put it right here. And go from there, man. Yeah. Y'all, Clay, you got anything to add to this, man?
No, I mean, listen, I feel like we've learned a lot today. Today's been a very educational experience.
Very good today. It's a
You
very
know,
beautiful Sunday.
I feel definitely educated, but no, I mean, hey man, listen, it's healthy discussion, healthy debate ahead of the rest of the off-season period. Rest of OTAs coming up this week. Mandatory minicamp, I want to say mid-July, and Hall of Fame game in August. So again, we're getting there step by step, but we're not going to have any guarantees right now. But I will say this: I am definitely excited for preseason this year. Personally, I believe every single starter needs to play in the preseason. Like, not every game, but there's no sit him in the preseason mentality this year. CJ, I need to see him at least twice. I need to see Demo. I need to see McDonald. I need to see a few guys, and really I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of preseason that Lewis Bond has, because, you're hearing some things about him, and I really believe that he could be, wide receiver 5, maybe wide receiver 6 in this equation. So yeah, man, that's my last little 2 cents.
And I don't think all the stars have to start. See, I think Nico Collins, don't even need to see Nico Collins. I don't need to see Will Anderson. I don't need to see Will Anderson. I think the
you don't
first.
need to see. Do you need to see Jalen Petrie?
No, I don't need to see Jalen Petrie because I know he brings the defense. I'm looking for younger players like the Ramses and the guys who were hurt last year.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't really need to see much of anything on the defensive side of the football, right, when it comes to preseason. Honestly, you want to see, and honestly, you really don't need to see much of CJ Stroud. Maybe I would say, no, I'm being honest, like 1.5 preseason games for CJ.
What's up, Mike?
You'll
Shout
see
out Mike for
what you
subscribing, man.
Mike
For
Patton,
CJ
touring the
for
AFC
CJ and
South.
the offenses. You'll see more when they do their live scrimmage versus live teams more than you do preseason games.
Say it again.
When they play when they go against these games, what you call them games with against NFL teams during training camps.
Oh, you
When you
talking
see
about the practices, joint practices?
when you'll see more joint practice than you do at these preseason games.
Yeah, and to Mike Patton's point, he said he need to see the linebacker depth. Of course, you got to see the rookies.
Right.
You got to see the rookies. You know, you got to see those guys that are probably gonna step up. You know, the Jake Hansons of the world, the Jamal Hills of the world, the Hummels. I think that's his name. That we signed this all season. Those guys and the two and Mape as well. You know. You know, hey, hey, we live every week, brother. We live every week. Do I know the day? Do I know the time? No. But is every once a week you're gonna get an episode from Next Time Rundown, BB?
I'm gonna buy a Jalen Petrie jersey just for y'all. Leave me alone.
For sure. Go ahead and do your thing, brother.
That's what I'm saying.
And rep it. You know,
I'm gonna take them a dirty claws, but I'm gonna buy it. Then put their dirty claws when they wear it.
Nah, bro. But no, the Mike Patton. That's why I brought up the other guys too. Jake Hanson's, Jamal Hills, Hummel, those other guys as well. So yeah, I did bring those guys up as well. So definitely, like I said, it's always gonna be a hot topic when it comes to certain things. But again, this brought up a lot of conversation, and I appreciate everybody jumping in. Again, Clayton, any final thoughts? Jules, final thoughts before we go ahead and sign off, brother?
Listen, man, I think the Texans, I don't know if you saw, but I put up a Mark Florio piece on him talking about CJ Stroud. He said that the Texans don't need that much from Stroud to be a Super Bowl champion, not contender, not participant, but a champion. I believe that this Texans team is one more healthy season and a competent offense away from winning a Super Bowl. I truly believe that. I think if this offense finishes top 10 and this defense stays healthy, I think they will get the 1 seed. I think they will run their way like a knife through butter through the AFC. So I'm calling my shot now with that. So health and top 10 offense.
Florio's hit or miss.
Well, Patton.
I'm worried about the wide receiver depth too. We're gonna talk about that because we talked about Tank Dell earlier. So go back and listen to earlier topic when we hit on Tank Dell and his possibility of probably not being a Texan.
Again, don't be surprised. Louis Bond. I'm telling you, hey bro, that's my guy.
Word is Bond.
Hey bro, they need to make a play called GoldenEye. At least put in an audible.
I'm done. I'm about to go.
GoldenEye.
I'm going on.
Go ahead, Juju. Any final thoughts other than
No, I'm good.
Other than Jalen Petrie not being a factor.
I'm good. I've never waved from my Jalen Petrie conversation, so it is what it is. If y'all listen to the podcast long enough, y'all know this is my same thing I've been saying. I've been down this hill for what 3 years now, so I'm good.
So when do we pronounce you dead?
Oh,
you said you willing to down the hill.
Hey, when he becomes a defensive player of the year, Super Bowl.
Oh wow! Come on now. Why he gotta be all that? Why he gotta be all that, Jules?
You asked me a question.
He can't be okay. He can't if he make all pro. You still gonna be on that hill?
I've said what I said. I don't know why you going to debate me. You know how I feel about Jalen Petrie.
This boy say he got to be defensive player of the year, Super Bowl MVP,
and Super Bowl MVP. I will give up my Jalen Petrie take.
Well, there you have it.
I think he's a good player. I just think he's overhyped because he's a Texan.
Man, Jalen Petrie was on anybody else's defense right now that he'd be hyped up. He'd probably get more fanfare. What's crazy is, and I'm gonna say this because we need to go ahead and log off. What's crazy is that he's getting less fanfare than he rightfully should. And I'm not the crazy Jalen Petrie fan, but the fact that we got Will Anderson, Derek Stingley, Daniil Hunter, Azeez Al-Shaair, all these other players on this team, he's getting the least amount of shine, and he's always one of the last ones being brought up because you have all this star power on defense. I'm saying if he was on the Arizona Cardinals, or if he was on the Green Bay Packers, if he was on any one of these other teams, he would be rightfully pumped up just as much as he should as anybody else on his
But
defense.
on the flip side, because he has so much talent around him, he actually looks like he's playing better than what he is. It can go both
Mm,
ways.
okay, Mike.
If you had to rely on Petrie being the star of your defense or the top two players, he's not even the top. He's the as y'all say, he's the top 6 player or 7 player on his team, and then you don't even have the top 5 players you have in considerable all pros at a certain situation. You have great talent at the 4 of the key players. Your two corners and your 2 defensive ends. Those are they considerably can be, if all the NFL defensive players, you have 4 guys can arguably be in the
Two
top
all
20.
pros, 2 all pros,
It
and
could be in the
2 all
top
pros.
20. So I don't. So a lot of these guys are getting
Hey,
are beneficial, are getting even
hey,
hyper because you have 4 of the guys of all NFL players that could be in the top 20. You got
DJ
4 of them.
DJ Waller, don't put that on the north side.
No, I'm a Southside product. We live and
Don't put
die.
that on the north side.
No,
Don't
born and raised Eccles Holmes. You know what I'm
don't
saying?
put
I'm
that
born
on
in
the
Eccles
north
Holmes,
side, dog.
but raised A-Leaf. You know what I'm saying? I
Don't
know
put
what Stafford is. Partner, don't do me.
hey DJ Waller, don't put that on the north side. We
You know
don't
what I'm
claim
saying?
that.
Yeah, we got common sense on the South Side. It's cool though. You know what I'm saying? But like my point is, y'all say if he go anywhere else, we don't know that because he's playing with elite talent that helps him be better what he is. He can be the rover or the joker because he has dogs and better skill set players that help him his game be proficient. We're gonna call spades spades, call spade spade.
Hmm. Mike said you may be from Dallas. You down there enough, you may be from Dallas.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I told you because he was staff, he from Houston, because everybody will love him. He went to
Hey,
Baylor.
with that being said, man, we're gonna end it here. Appreciate everybody jumping on the live and tuning in. Make sure y'all go and like, share, and subscribe to the H Town Rundown podcast on all the platforms, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, YouTube, all the platforms. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, and share the podcast. And we will continue to bring this content each and every week. So y'all make sure y'all see us next week. Don't know day or time, but I will put out a post and let y'all know that we're going live. So make sure y'all tune in and appreciate everybody for joining in. Shout out Clayton, shout out Jules. And we'll see y'all when we see y'all, man. Peace.
Peace out.
The James Harden team.